Hi, family. I am so glad that we have a moment to talk about what's coming up in June. Many of you know by now that the Lord has given me an enormous commission that involves the prophets. Why the prophets? Well, you've heard me say more than once, God starts everything with the prophet. Why? Because he starts everything with his word. And because of that, we are doing something new at this year's June event. We are actually doing prophetic ed. If you don't know what that is, make sure you go to my website after our discussion today and look and see what prophetic ed does. The theme of prophetic ed is planting prophets everywhere. Do you know how we for years planted churches and we planted ministries? Well, now we're planting prophets. And the reason being that we need prophets that are dispersed throughout the planet. My big picture is to have prophets right next to Miss Sally and Brother Psychic and Sister Witch. We want to have the prophets there because prophets are the only force that God has created that can push back the darkness and push back on the occult. And trust me, I know that when I say that word, all sorts of bells go off. So we're doing something different. We're inviting you to spend a week with us. And I'm calling it a week in God's future, where God is letting us know that he's getting ready to go to war. He's getting ready to cover his people. But more importantly, he's ready to gather the force of prophetic voices. Did you notice I said prophetic voices and not just prophets? He's gathering his force of prophetic voices that are going to go ahead of him, speaking what he's doing, because we have left God a mess to clean up. So you want to make sure that you're here in June. You want to be equipped, you want to be educated, you want to be informed, and you want to be armed. You know, we talk so much about equipping, we forgot arming. But we're going to arm you for God's future, because God has a future that we know not about. So we're inviting you to join us here at the Prophetic Ed Training Institute, and you're going to learn what it means for God to start everything with the prophet. Now, you might say, I'm not a prophet. You're probably not. But if you're filled with the Holy Ghost, you're prophetic. If God gives you dreams and visions, you should be here. If you sometimes know things and not understand why you know them, here is where you get those answers. So you want to join us in June of this year, Prophetic Ed Training Institute. Go to my website, drpaulaprice.com. Register. I'm going to see you there, because this is going to be something awesome. And you're going to be the front line of what God is doing to recover the kingdom, recover the church, and recover the planet. God bless you. I'll see you there.